Got another child, 1957. Another one, 1958. Another one in 1959. Another one in 1960. I had another one in 1965, after 5 years break. So 6 children altogether. One girl died, Margaret, so there are 5. I worked very early with the Rockefeller Foundation. One of the assistant directors became very close. He comes every year. So when he came in 1960, he jokingly said, the joke, your wife has the longest pregnancy that I've ever seen. So after come for 5 years, every time she's pregnant. When the military killed Ngozi in the battle, I was away on a meeting in Geneva. I was in Geneva with my wife, and my mother-in-law called me and said, please stay where you are, don't come back. I said, why? She said, because they're looking for you to kill you. I didn't know what I did. I wasn't public man, I wasn't expressing a public opinion. Anyway, because of that advice, I just stayed in Geneva, I didn't come home. But later, one of the soldiers involved in the battle, he was an ambassador to America from Nigeria. So I met him in New York and asked him, yes, my brother told me that you people, when you got your own sin, wanted me also. What was my sin? He said my sin was I was perceived as one of the Igbo intellectuals in Sabashi Edozien. So that was a mistake because I was close to Edozien, but it was a medical intervention and I wasn't talking politics with him. As I came back to Asaba, after 1 week in Asaba, I thought, what am I going to do? And I thought, why should we have a university here? So I went to see Edozien in Benin. I did a job. He said, well, we don't have the knowledge is there. You can impart to the young people even under a tree. So let's get on with having our own university. And he said, we don't have the money for that yet. But only 4 or 5 days later, he sent some military people to invite me to Benin. I went to see him. And he said, yes, he thought about what I said. And no reason why we should not have a university of our own. So I'm going to give you a job in my office to plan the university. So he gave me a job as special advisor on higher education in his office. So I worked in the office planning the University of Benin. We made the plans and submitted it to him. And he gave his plan to the Attorney General and asked him to make a law establishing the university. That part of my life is something that I've never made public for safety reasons. When I came back to Asaba, I was here. And at that time, the political issues became quite serious. So the war started. I said, well, stay and die, or go somewhere still be useful. So I decided to leave. Went on the plane to Paris. So I called David Scrimshaw, who was the head of the Department of Nutrition at MIT. And he said, oh, thank God you're calling me. I will just put in newspapers that you have been killed. I said, no, it's a false information. I said, I'm in Paris and I need a job. And he said, oh, but you know, we've invited you many times as a visiting professor to MIT, and you didn't have time to go. So the invitation is still there. So if you want to come, I invited. I said that I accept the invitation to give me temporary visa to get to the United States. So during those periods I was in the Boston after his appointment, while organizing this charitable help to Biafra. I was making arrangements for my family to come. And three times I sent the planes that took food to Biafra for Ojukwu to allow the planes to bring back my family to the United States. Ojukwu refused to release them. So my family remained in Biafra throughout the war. So when the Asaba ship was vacant, so people from here had written to me that the chief sergeant title was a step towards what they wanted from me. So when the Asaba ship they died, the school was now vacant. Those people who wanted me to have the title earlier also wrote to me in the United States to come and take the title. As I said, the lessons that have occupied all my time of leisure, I try to do or cannot do. Those who are successful in sports are my heroes. So those things I can do well. Those ones you can't do them alone. That's has been a motto. So I try to relate to people at
Do like 7 gig.
His Royal Majesty, Asaba Professor Joseph Chike Edozien, was believed to have amassed a collection of nothing less than 20,000 LPs in his lifetime. A scientist, an arts collector, a champion footballer, and a lover of audiophiles. One is left to wonder how he was able to keep up with the trends and genre of music through the roaring 20s, the silent generation of the 30s and 40s, the baby booming age of the 50s, the Generation X, millennials, the Gen Zs, and of course, the current generational outfit. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let us relish some of his favorite traditional hymns, with the choir performing the prayer, the goodness of God, and you raise me up.
No, send airtime. Send to travel.
Pray you be all and wash us and help us to be wise in times when we don't know. Oh, let this be your prayer. Her prayer will find your light. And holders in our hearts. When stars go out each night. And it's beyond when shadows fill our day. Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace. Lead us with your will. So now no more lost sins I do possess. No Jesus, sins I disgrace. Oh, you are my hero, eternal salvation. Spirit of holy passion, we touch it all. We have stepped to the ground and wash us from our bones. We walk your soul will find. And by the stars alive, let this be our prayer. Let this be our prayer. Just like every child, just like every child. Need to find your place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we stay. Us with thy Lord. Send to sing this song.
Having listened to the Lord say about our Father and say his life is worth emulating, and it's good thing we give God thanks for this life well lived. I love you, Lord, for your mercies never fail me. All my days I'll sing of your praise. From the moment that I wake up till I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love you, Lord, for your mercies never fail me. All my days I'll sing of your praise. From the moment that I wake up till I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God. Oh, all my life you have been faithful. For all my life you have been so good. With every praise that I have made, oh Lord, oh, all my life, Jesus, you have been so faithful. Yes, you are. All my life, Jesus, you have been so good. All your goodness of God, I loved your voice, for you led me through the fire. In darkest night, you were close like no other. Jesus, I have known you as a father. I have known you as a friend. And I lived in the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. Jesus, all my life you have been so good. With every breath while I am able, Jesus, I will sing
Thank you so very much. For our very first set of tributes, the story behind these individuals will last a generation. They played key roles in shaping lives, protecting the family of our departed Asaba, and appearing in council by taking decisions that have molded the people with candor and tunnel vision success. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, he is a retired Nigerian general and statesman who served as Nigeria's head of state from 1976 to 1979 and later as its president from 1999 to 2007. Please make welcome with a resounding round of applause His Excellency Chief Olusegun Matthew Kiola Ogunboye Aremu Obasanjo, GCFR.
Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, I'm deeply standing in for the Governor. Your Excellency, the former Governor, Dr. my dear brother and colleague, Dr. Rob. members of government here at the federal and state level, members of the legislature. Then, of course, especially must I use John as the contact to acknowledge and appreciate the Edozien family and the Edozien dynasty. I am here not to mourn, because I believe it will be a little bit out of place to say you are mourning when your loved one also don't want to lose a loved one. But when your loved one departs almost at the age of a century, I come from a part of the world where even when a loved one departs at the age of 120, it will be that the wicked have done their worst. They are in the case of Asada, Professor Joseph Chike Edozien. If the wicked have done their worst, then we should thank them for sparing him as long as they have spared him before they do their worst. As I came here for a number of reasons and to do a number of things. One, as a close friend of Edozien family, from their father, late Chimamanda, and to John. John, are they alive? Okay, I know lie. Even if I lie, you will not admit that I lie. That's one. And I believe that this is an occasion to celebrate life. And Asada's life is worth celebrating. My prayer is that may his soul be accepted with his Creator. Second, when you have a man like Asada, who has lived a life that he has lived, a man who from childhood has shown his brilliance, a man who has made contribution to his family, his extended family, his community, his state, his country, and our continent, Africa, and indeed world, then it's an icon that we should extol. And his virtue is worth extolling and is worth emulating. So I believe that as we celebrate his life, we should also draw lessons for what we can emulate and what we can learn, and for ourselves and for the edification and the building of our community, of our country, and indeed of our continent and our world. That's the second point for me, for us to learn the right lessons and emulate. The thought is that I had the opportunity on a number of occasions to interact with the observer. And what I found on every occasion, and you could see it telling its own story, is that we have a lot to learn. You can never be tired or be bored in its company. And I cherish that all the opportunity that I have to learn from him and to share useful experiences. So, for me, I have come here to show appreciation for that. I'm also here to the Edozien community, the state of Asaba, Delta State, for the gifts to Nigeria, to Africa, and the world of Professor Joseph Chike Edozien. The great gift that you are giving to us in Nigeria, to Africa, and indeed the world. Finally, I'm here to support my sister. You know, we in our part of the world, when we see good things, we appreciate it. And even very early, as you have seen, we appreciate the Asaba as it was growing up as a good thing, brilliant. Go. And then what did we do? We thought that you have such a brilliant person. You should ask on the Chike Edozien to blend it with what we have given you. And that with my sister, will be back Edozien. Sister, thank you. Thank you. And thank you again. Now don't just clap. Don't just clap. Then I come for it. Now, because I have brought a bag to collect dowry. No, don't laugh. No, don't laugh. And don't say to me, to pay before. No, there's no end to paying dowry when you have a good flower like this. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much.
Her Excellency Chief Olusegun Matthew Ikiola Ngozi Areni, Obasanjo, GCFR. He's a former Nigerian ambassador to Thailand, a lawyer, a banker, diplomat, and current Emir of Exile, the Nigerian traditional state, the headquarters Exile, Kaduna. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, His Highness Alhaji Ahmed Nuru Amali, CFR, is represented here by Masin Zazal. A round of applause, please, for Alhaji Salisu Muhammad.
Your Excellency, President Olusegun Obasanjo, and all other excellencies here present, I am Alhaji Salisu Muhammad Masun Zazo. I'm representing His Highness the Emir of Zazo, and I will be reading his speech for this great occasion. But before I start, yesterday I was served by somebody in my hotel, and as we got talking, she said she had never heard of Zazo before. So just for clarity, Zazo is in Zaria in Kaduna State in northern Nigeria. Thank you very much. I just said I should mention that, or maybe there might be also some people who would not know. His Highness' speech, I read as follows. Blessed and honored, today we gather here in tribute to the life and legacy of the beloved Asaba of Asaba, King of Asaba. He was a man who dedicated his life to promoting peace, unity, understanding amongst the diverse tribes, religion that made us of our beautiful nation. He was a bridge builder in every sense of the word, reaching out across boundaries, barriers, to sow the seed of harmony and cooperation. In a time when the division, conflicts threatened to tear us apart, the King of Asaba stood as a shining example of what individuals who should come together in the spirit of love and compassion. He believed that no matter our differences, in whatever language, culture, or beliefs, we are all part of the same human family. And it is through dialogue and understanding that we can find common ground and build a better future for ourselves and our children. As we look around us today, we see the fruits of our labor in the faces of those who gather here, representing different backgrounds and traditions. Let us take this opportunity to hold his memory, to continue his work by reaching out to our neighbors, by listening to their stories, and by building bridges that span the divisions that separate us. Let us remember that we are all united in our humanity and that together we can create a more peaceful society for all. May the King of Asaba's spirit of reconciliation and tolerance continue to inspire us in our own lives, and may his legacy live on in the hearts of those who strive for unity and understanding. Please permit me to extend my condolences to my personal friend, Prince Louis Edozien, whom I have known for more than 30 years, the entire family, as well as the entire people of Asaba. Thank you very much, Malam Ahmed Nuh Bamali, CFR, the Emir of Zazo. Thank you very much, ladies.
Nigerian writer, novelist, poet, and playwright, post-colonial feminist literature, and public speaker. She is author of the award-winning novels Purple Hibiscus, Half of a Yellow Sun, and Americana. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to give the next tribute, please welcome Chief Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie.
Good evening. I want to start by saying to the family, to the Queen Mother, Nwani, and to the 5 children, Ndo. You were fortunate to have him spend almost 100 years on earth, but it doesn't matter how long the people we love have been with us. When they're gone, a chasm appears in our lives. I am fortunate to call Edozien one of my closest friends, and also to call Ngozi Edozien a dear, dear friend. And it was always wonderful for me to see how Ngozi basked in her father's light. She was always in Asaba, too often. And because I'm also a daddy's girl, I understand what it means to bask in a father's light. And Louis, who is very much like his father, with the same intelligence, integrity, and humor, has obviously been shaped by a great man. So a great man has left us. But what does it mean to be great? I don't think that anybody is born great. We become great by what we do, what we believe in, what we stand for. And I think that the Asaba of Asaba stood for things that mattered. I remember when I first learned about the Asaba massacres that happened in October of 1967. We live in a country that wants to forget the past, but Asaba refused to forget. And so by insisting that we remember, by saying this thing happened, it is not a myth, it happened and we must remember. I think he did a great service not only to the community of Asaba, but to Nigeria as a whole, to teach us that history matters, that we must learn from our past. The Asaba was a great man because of the work he did as an intellectual, and because his work showed that his heart was at home. It's really moving for me to know that he was very interested in malaria and malnutrition, which are really things that are about us, about Nigerians, about Africans. Asaba was great because he was a man of integrity in a country that increasingly makes integrity difficult. And I think that my generation of Nigerians, in some ways, is now cast adrift. We're hungry for heroes. We're starving for heroes. We're longing for heroes. And we've lost one of our heroes. May his soul rest in peace.
Republic of Nigeria, Chief Passenger, GCR, Round.
Your Excellency, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, very fondly by those who know him very closely. Former Governor of the state, and the present governor represented by the deputy governor. Other political leaders here present. I would like to stand on the existing protocol thereafter. But let me also very much appreciate the lady on whose behalf most of all are here, my very dear sister-in-law, Mrs. Edozien. We appreciate the fact that she's from Adichie, the home state of Chief Obasanjo. But if you ask her the way to Adichie now, she won't know. Because we have taken such good care of her. Now, I was not going to just make a statement on Chief Obasanjo. I was going to make a statement thanking some of the people here, and also making a statement or two on my brother, Yasaba. Now, we are doing in years. It has been a devastating event for the Edozien family, the loss of Nago, Chief Nago Asaba Professor Chike Edozien, the patriarch of the Edozien family, the symbol of that tradition of excellence of which the Edozien family is associated with. It's a hallmark of the Edozien family values. We strive to excel in whatever we do, and we accomplish our tasks in the most fair, just, and transparent way. And that is why you can see that in the 33 years my brother Asaba was on the throne, no whiff of scandal, no strife in Asaba, successive governments of Delta State, very welcome. Both indigenous, non-indigenous, and foreigners felt welcome and happy to be here to invest and to live in peace with one another. That is the legacy of the man we are talking about today. Asaba grew by leaps and bounds because his appointment as the Asaba of Asaba coincided with the creation of Delta State. I think it's just about months apart, 1 year apart. So everything you see in Asaba happened under his watch. And successive governments felt the cooperation, the assistance of the Asaba of Asaba, without whom, as the host local government, this would have been a little more difficult, but he made sure that it wasn't so. I believe that so much has been said already about my brother. There was also the short abbreviation of the published issue of the biography as presented by Louis. There's also been statements by other who have paid tribute. I appreciate these tributes, especially coming from former Vice President, former President, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, who has been a friend of the family for as long as I can remember. We owe so much to him as a friend of the family. He has never disappointed the family. Every time the family called on him, he responded. Sir, we can never thank you enough. You are a wonderful, and we love you. We cherish you in every way and continue to pray that God will give you more life on earth to continue to do what you do best for the stability and growth of this country. I think this country has still a lot more to learn and to benefit from you being around. May God continue to keep you alive. Amen. And this is indeed the first time I'm, looking at Chimamanda up close. So I thank you for coming and for your very pleasant and very incisive comments on my brother. Honestly, it has been a wonderful event. Seeing everybody here is a measure of the level of respect and the high esteem which everybody held my brother, Professor Edozien. There's an array of your leaders and the chiefs. You're all welcome. And so many other groups of Asaba and the entire community of Asaba. We also have here the representative of the Emir of Zauzau, all the way from Zambia. And I must say that now that I see you, I recall my closeness with the departed Emir of Zauzau. I don't know whether he's the father of the current Emir, but we served in many federal government boards. He was a fantastic man. Please, my best regards to His Royal Majesty when you get back. There's really not much to say again, and to say that everything that has been said about my brother can only be a tip of the iceberg. If I start to talk about my experiences with him and with the rest of the family, it will take so long. But suffice it to say that ours is a close family, and he exemplified that closeness, those family values that our parents inculcated in us. Values of decency, of love, of neighbor, love of God, and deep Christianity, and transparency in everything that we do. Like they say, if you keep your hands straight, you will never be in difficulty. If I may say, that is what they say in my language. So, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to once again, very sincerely, and on behalf of the entire Edozien family, and indeed the Asaba community, to heap huge thanks on our dear friend, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, for the efforts he took to be here. Physically, not by representation, physically, we thank you a lot, sir. And may God continue once again to bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, sir. We'll take quickly in a minute a few recognitions. That will be done
by the very, very charismatic Gilbert Silva Mogul. 26 years as a shining light in the palace. A round of applause, please.
Thank you very much. So that our royal father, at a point, our normal leaders were walking our crop proposals. He came together. He said, we are one. We can grow together. And he became the chairman of Telton North Bonds. And these bonds are here. Highly respect Osawota, Obi of Edozien, to open the hands together for. Having said that, please help me recognize Mr. Reginald Bayoko, head of the Delta State Civil Service, as a Niagoba, Reginald Bayoko and I will welcome you. Also recognize Otumba Oyewole Fashawe, Elder will recognize you.
Just few days ago, we entered the month of May, and I must leave the month of May behind. See what you do for me. See how you set me free. You are the living God. There's no one like you. You are my healer. You are my shield. I surrender.
More finish forever.
You are my healing God. There's no one like you.
A tree, they say, does not make a forest, and His Royal Majesty tapped into the rewards of friends in nation building, the academia, and medicine. An astute medical genius himself, he shaped his own destiny, choosing from individuals who plowed through the orchid of hard work, dedication, and success to achieve milestone results. Leading this next set of tributes is a chartered accountant and a seasoned corporate manager, a former CEO, Dom Long Engineering Limited, Group Managing Director and CEO, UTC Nigeria PLC, former Group Executive Director and Group Finance Director in Lax Group, and currently founder of Infrasco Limited, an energy and infrastructure company where he is chairman and CEO. It gives me great pleasure, and with a resounding round of applause, to please welcome Alanza Ahab, Chief Emir Chukuma Kolo.
Your Excellency, our former Deputy Governor, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor representing our Governor, Ochendwa, Your Royal Majesty, our own mother, Agumwa, Obi's dear present, Ndioli Zelani, traditional chiefs, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I think we are here to celebrate. I'm sure most of us here, we are neck deep in planning the 100th birthday party. So we are not here to mourn, we are celebrating the 100th birthday party. A lot has been said. My own dimension is to share some wisdom and stories our father, our king, and the great friend told us. We are celebrating Nago, we are celebrating Asaba, and we are doing it with lots of pride. Agu once said to me in our usual dialogue, particularly in Lagos. And remember, for every question Agu asks, he already has the answer. For every committee Agu says so, he already has a report. Now, if you understand this, that is the beginning of wisdom in communicating with Agu. Agu once asked, why do we use white in Asaba? That everywhere in Asaba, people wear white. I said, oh, it's to do with Onishe. He said, well, beyond that, it's more than Onishe. For those who don't know, Onishe is our #1 traditional date. Even if you like, be a bishop, when they talk Onishe, you listen. He says, oh, the other part of it is that before the white man came, there were so many springs. In short, the springs are still there. Only people are good. Now, we don't drink from River Niger. Over 20 springs called Ngene. And the younger one won't understand it. The Asaba person goes to the stream in the morning. He will fetch water, he will bath. He goes back to the stream in the evening, he will fetch water, he will bath. And before, when the white man was having shower once a month, Asaba people were already having shower twice a day. That tells you it's right. He goes on to say, why do we say Emaka is in Uno? That is, in translated, why do we say Greek people? How are those outside and those inside? I won't share the response with you, but you know the meaning of that. But beyond that, Our Royal Majesty was not just a professor of medicine. He was a research scientist, and he was a medical activist. Once he shared part of his regrets about the Civil War. By 1967, as a clinical pathologist, he was well advanced. That's 67. That's almost 60 years ago. In researching vaccination for malaria. He was already doing trials. But at University of Ibadan. But the outbreak of the Civil War truncated that, and then took him to nutrition. He repeated this story at the outbreak of COVID. He said, and he was damn right, that the effect of COVID in Nigeria would be limited. I said, why? He said, no, whatever happens to you when you have suffered from malaria and other ailments, that COVID cannot be tougher than that. And that, furthermore, the vaccination will soon come. I said, why? He said, no, he's been complaining that there is racism and capitalism in medical research. That, if the ailment affects the Europeans or the first world, they will find a solution. But if it's just us, it won't. Otherwise, why did it take so long to find malaria vaccine? And why did they not work on Ebola? So there is that element of activism in him, and he was working on it till the last moment. We also shared moments in one of his lectures. He used to be Nestle annual speaker. In one of those lectures at Musa, he spoke on the effect of nutrition on generations. So halfway during the lecture, it made a joke that we used to say that, oh, in that family, they are usually short. He says, oh no, there's no short family. It's about protein intake. He said that Louis, Tony, and Joe Jr. used to mock him as a short man. And he told them that their own children will even be more physically close than them. So these days, there's no short family. Everybody grows well as long as you have the protein. Of course, one of his classics, which was alluded to earlier, it's about our royal mother. He told us then, back in early 50s, that just returned from, I think, Dublin or somewhere, University of Ibadan, senior lecturer. And there's this extremely beautiful lady, very, very beautiful, well sought after by various lecturers. So he was in competition. Extremely pretty radiographer, who is today our royal mother. Nagu, we salute you. He used his usual charm, bow tie and parted hair and Asaba swagger. And he won over our royal mother, over and above his Southwest compatriots, and that they never forget him. In short, the story was told as to how he was supposed to be advisor to Ironsi. The untold story, which he shared with us, is that by 1967, both the snatching our royal mother and other successes created such level of envy that it was fellow lecturers who actually suggested that he was advisor to Ironsi. So, our royal mother, we thank you. You've done very well. I always tell Louis that one of these days we'll go and do a special thank you to their life. You've prospered us, and we appreciate you. We can also tell many other stories from his love for electrical gadgets. I don't know, at death, even at the time of death, if you sit with iPad, Samsung, iPhone, laptop, he was more techy than even a teenager. And we learned a lot from him. Of course, if you go into the palace building, the electrical gadget and musical instruments, the only way to upset that is to make somehow those gadgets are not working. Until they start working, we won't have a proper conversation. Of course, Ago, until the last moment, believed in the role of traditional rulers, and I'm very happy they are well represented. Our Royal Majesty was preoccupied and was actually planning to host a constitutional conference that would delve into the subject of incorporating traditional rulers and communities into the Nigerian Constitution. So I'm pleading with our Royal Majesty there. The villages, the towns, they are more the fundamentals of our local government and nation. So we must incorporate them into the Constitution. One can go on and on, but we give God the glory for bringing us where we are there, for the benefit of having our royal father. Till the last, he hosted a meeting, he presided over a meeting today, and the following day, he transited to a different planet. We pray that Nagu Gabia was Louis, you and your brothers, we are saying Agu should come back to the world quickly. The way you have given the assignment to, I know he's eyeing me for saying that, but whether it's coming in your in the immediate generation or grandchildren, That's for you. That's an assignment. So if there's any assignment you're taking from here, tell Joe Jr., Tony Ochendo, and yourself that Ago must return within 24 months, either directly or through branches. We, the old intellects, can never be more grateful for Nnago. Nnago raised the status and stature of old intellects. We owe him. He was as the traditional ruler, he's also the chairman of the old intellects. So we thank him specially. I always tell people that as in Asaba, we've been Beijing compliant. So when people talk about oppressing women or women's rights, I say you people are behind. That before the white man came, Asaba was already respecting women. Sure, the beginning of wisdom is the respect for Umuada. Ago opened the door and told us that why can't we have female chiefs, women chiefs? And at the last count, Nnago has coronated over 10 female traditional chiefs. So Ago is very Beijing compliant, and we cannot thank him enough. We thank God for blessing us with you over the past 100 years, particularly the 33 years as the Asaba of Asaba. We are certainly not mourning. We are very proud indeed, celebrating your successful journey on this earth, and you are a part of society. We pray that another future generation of Asaba will have you back as a royal majesty. Keep looking after us and guiding us from the yonder. Nnago, Nnago, Nnago. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Delta State, Sir Monday John Emir, thank you so very much for lingering with us. We appreciate you so very much. I'd also like to use this opportunity to recognize, thank you for coming, representing the Vice Chancellor of the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, Professor Olushola Babatunde Kenge. Thank you so very much, Professor Omunka. Thank you so much for coming, sir. Taking the next tribute is one held in high regard and shares a first name with His Royal Majesty, Asaba Professor Joseph Chike Edozien. He is the Chairman, Group CEO of the Dynamic Energy Conglomerate, Global Energy Company, and a nephew to our dearly departed. Please welcome with me, Dr. Joseph Ndubisi Yago.
Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Delta State, Excellencies, our Queen, Obiwani Ago, whom I feel most privileged to be your baptismal godson. Ndị Obi, ndị Olizelani, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to stand on existing protocol as I pay a personal tribute to our Royal Father, Nnago, His Royal Majesty, Obi Professor Joseph Chike Edozien, CFR, the 13th Asaba of Asaba. Nnago. It is said that some are born great, and some have greatness bestowed upon them. And yet some create and shape their own greatness. The life and legacy of our royal father, Nnago, aptly embodies all of the foregoing dimensions of greatness. For 100 years, a full complete century, and 4 generational cycles, Nnago was a constant presence in our lives. As a family, a people, and as a nation and a universe. His story is one of a remarkable life, legendary and already well documented, and now being preserved and recorded in the annals of Asaba history and folklore for all posterity. Nnago was the scion of the distinguished Edozien royal family and the immediate younger sibling of my mother, Mrs. Bridget Ogugwa Obiago, the Adichie of the Adichie Ahaba, Chief NOE Edozien clan. At the time we were growing up in the 60s and even before the war, our uncle had already etched his legend. At a precocious age, he distinguished himself in academia, in medicine, thought leadership, and ultimately as a role model and beacon of excellence. He was a philosopher king, a reformer, a non-conformist, an activist, yet non-confrontational. An indomitable lion spirit, yet personable, witty, and very humorous, who never spoke ill of others, including his adversaries. He was a man of great sophistication, style, and elegance, an enigma. And he was often adorned in his Alfred Dunhill attires and his famous ballet accessories. As has been said earlier today, is the ultimate audiophile who built and enjoyed a priceless jazz music collection for all time. I will just amplify some bit of personal family stories, many of which Nnago himself told us. The first I can recall is the story of his father, Adichie, Edozien, who Nnago told us that when the news came of his admission to Chimamanda, and then he was going from there to Ireland for further studies, his father ruled on the situation and was looking quite ponderous and sad. And Nnago was surprised. He was, Daddy, what is wrong? His father shook his head and said, so I have to give up this very expensive brand of cigarettes that I smoke because I have to start making sacrifices for your long journey of pursuing excellence in education. That was just one of the stories. Another one also often told by Ngozi himself, and often he will have a mist in his eyes because of the sentiments it evoked in him of filial love, was that throughout the time he was in studying in Ireland, he will get this envelope every month, like into today's alert, and it was money sent to him by my mother, his older sister, who religiously and faithfully, out of love, with her little money as a school teacher, was sending money to his younger brother. So these were the kinds of family bonds and love that wielded the family. And we heard from Ngozi himself, his principle of justice and not seeing oppression or discrimination or something like that take place. This actually happened to him, and attests to his character and his also his strength and will. It was with his appointment at University College, UCH Ibadan, where he was employed as an associate professor, lecturer. And with other, at that time, UCH was a big international ecosystem of scientists and doctors and all sorts from everywhere. And somehow he got the intelligence that his salary scale was below the expatriate doctors who, like him, came back from overseas to work at UCH. And he also found out that some of his entitlements, specifically a status card, was not granted to him. So, the first step he took was each month when his salary came, he returned his pay packet. He returned it back to Treasury month 1, month 2. And then, as intelligent and as skillful as he was or is in his mind, he consulted his aunties, Ma Regina and Ma Angelina, and told them what was happening. And they hatched a plan. They consulted his auntie, Ma Ifenwa Azinge, from the Odogu clan. Agu's mother is from the Odogu family, and the senior sister of Ma Azinge Ma Ifenwa Azinge. And they hatched a plan and delivered Ma Azinge's car, a beautiful brand new car, to Ibadan. And then Ngozi was riding on this car, not collecting a salary, and this went on for almost 1 year until the Senate of UCH sat and reversed that decision and regularized his pay and gave him his status card. And he did not fire one note of protest or bang on the table or be destructive in any way, but he got his fair due, just like he attested in the earlier video we saw. So that is the mettle of the man and our royal father. Ngozi was a trailblazer and a trendsetter who brought great prestige and significance to the institution of monarchy and traditional rulership in Delta State and the entire southern Nigeria, if I may add. As the most educated and professionally accomplished monarch, his ascension to the throne of the Asaba of Asaba completely raised the benchmark for all traditional stools throughout the nation. This positive and transformative trend has continued and will remain one of his many legacies. Nnago ushered Asaba Kingdom into the modern era. Over his long reign of plus 33 years, he reformed, modernized, simplified, and documented most of Asaba Kingdom's ancient and extant customs and traditions. He bestowed peace, stability, cultural pride, prosperity, and communal progress to Asaba. To Asaba, to its neighboring communities, and by extension, the state capital and the entire Delta state. His long reign and era will be remembered with nostalgia, with deep gratitude and thanksgiving. It is truly the end of a golden era. Nnago, as you join our forebears and ancestors, may your great and noble soul rest in eternal peace. Amen.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, reflect once again in music where storytelling and folklore reign supreme. Our village squares held stories of history into the nights of bonding and relationships. Savor some of his favorite collections in high life genre in the person of two Highland greats, Chief Stephen Adichie and Sir Professor Victor Wife.
Another hits jam from WebLoaded.com.
His Royal Majesty, Asaba Professor Joseph Chike Edozien, in his council, constituted a ruling class that catered to the needs of his immediate community. One wonders why traditional rulers show empathy and discharge laws with fairness and wisdom. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our next tribute will be taken by the Vice Chairman of the Anyoma Traditional Rulers Council. Please welcome with me His Royal Majesty, King Uche Obi of the Abobo Kingdom.
There you go.
Made you understand that he has already left us, but we thank him for coming. The next tribute will be taken by a thoroughbred lecturer of the physiotherapy in Africa's premier institution, first African Dean at the University of Ibadan's College of Medicine, and specialist advisor at the University of Ibadan and University College Hospital. Please welcome Professor Adichie. As we understand that Professor Adichie is the Deputy Provost and he is representing the Provost of the College of Medicine. You're welcome, sir. A round of applause, please.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am here this afternoon to commemorate with the dear people of Asaba, the passing of a very great gentleman, the Asaba of Asaba. I am here from the University of Ibadan, the premier university in Nigeria. And I'm here from the College of Medicine, University of Ibadan, representing the Provost of the College of Medicine, Professor Olayinka Olushola Omigbodun, who is unavailably absent. She would have been here herself, but because her husband is delivering a university lecture, which is going to begin by 5 p.m. right now. So I'm here to deliver her speech. And I must say that if not for the logistics involved, a great man, a distinguished professor of the University of Ibadan, would have been celebrated in our own special way in the University of Ibadan, where we would have had an event for him at the Trenchard Hall of the University of Ibadan. Nonetheless, I am here and I will read the Provost's speech. The College of Medicine, University of Ibadan mourns the passing of His Royal Majesty, the Asaba, Professor Joseph Chike Edozien, CFR, JP, MD, FRCP,